Welcome into Mavericks Today by Chat Sports. I'm Jeffrey Guberstein. Great to be with you guys. We are 9 days away from the 2025 NBA trade deadline, and the Mavericks will make a move. I'm going to tell you why later in today's show, but before we get into the bulk of the show, how about Klay Thompson last night in that first quarter? That was awesome to see. That was vintage Klay, Golden State Thompson, where he made 7 threes in the first quarter, tying a franchise record. I thought he was going to get that eighth. He had a couple of great looks at it. It was fantastic to see. I know Klay's taken a lot of stick from Mavs Twitter and social media and everything alike lately because he hasn't really been shooting well, and we haven't seen the Klay Thompson that we thought we were going to get over the last few games. And he's also been on a minute restriction. So it was really good to see Klay get back to himself last night. If you were happy to see Klay Thompson go off, type those 31s down in the comments for our boy, Captain Klay. Hopefully the first of many to come here in the next few games or so. All right, let's get into the bulk of today's show. This coming from Bobby Marks earlier today when he's talking about the Dallas Mavericks. He said, when healthy, the Mavericks are a top 4 team in the West. Dallas is 6-1 with the starting lineup of Luka, Kyrie, Klay, PJ, and Derek Lively. And they are plus 25.6 points per 100 possessions with that group. However, they've only played just 6% of the Mavericks' total possessions. Don't be surprised if GM Nico Harrison makes a move before the trade deadline. He's made deals at 3 consecutive deadlines, adding Irving, Washington, and Gafford. And a month after reaching the NBA Finals at the outset of the 2024 offseason, they added Klay Thompson, Quentin Grimes, and Najee Marshall. And I do agree with a lot of what Bobby Marks had to say. When the Mavs are healthy, they are a top 4 team in the West. However, they're not healthy right now. They're actually kind of in dire straits when it comes to their health at the moment. So the league knows that, and the league knows exactly what the Mavericks need in order to improve themselves and in order to get reinforcements into this team. Bobby Marks also put this out here, a little bit of just a primer of exactly what the Mavericks have to offer. You see the expiring contracts there, the guys with 2 years plus, the controllable deals. Obviously, Luka is off the board there as well. As far as the luxury tax apron rules go, the Mavericks can't exceed that first apron. They're just $526,000 below the first apron right now. So they have limited room to play with. They do have 2 first-round picks this year and in 2031 that they are available to trade. So the Mavs do definitely have a little bit of flexibility that they can use here in the next 9 days or so. And I think they're going to do it. It's just a matter of how they do it. But if you want Nico Harrison to make a move, hit that thumbs up icon for me. Help us get to 250 likes on today's show. I feel like the Mavericks are getting out of this funk here that they've been in. There's 9 games before the All-Star break, and we'll take a look at the schedule here coming up at the back end of today's show. But I really think that if they're going to make a move, assert themselves as contenders in the West, which we all think they can be, Nico's got to make a move. So if you want him to, hit that thumbs up icon. We'll get to the rest of today's show here in just a moment, but I do need to tell you guys about our sponsor, which of course is PrizePicks, America's #1 daily fantasy sports app. PrizePicks has over 10 million members and billions of dollars in awarded winnings, making daily fantasy sports accessible to all. You just pick more or less on at least 2 players for a shot to win up to 1,000 times your cash. Run your game all season long on PrizePicks. The big game is almost here, and it is now or never. Don't miss out on the last football game of the season with PrizePicks, the best place to win cash while watching the big game. PrizePicks is also giving away a free pick for the big game, where one of the starting quarterbacks, Patrick Mahomes, will only need to throw 1 yard to win. If you're correct on at least one more stat projection, you can win some real cash. And there is that free pick right there. If you think Patrick Mahomes is going to throw for more than a yard against the Philadelphia Eagles in a couple of weeks, go ahead and pair that with another projection, and you can win some real money. Also, be sure to check out the promos tab to tail any of our Super Sweat Millie winners' big game lineups. If you tail a lineup that goes 3 for 3, you can win a split of up to $1 million in promo funds. And of course, PrizePicks is the best place to get action in more than 30 states, including California, Texas, Georgia, and Florida. And they put their members first, so all withdrawals are fast, safe, and secure. And when my picks hit, I can get my money in as quick as 15 minutes. So download the PrizePicks app today. Use code CLNS to get a $50 bonus when you play that first $5 lineup. Again, download the app. Use code CLNS on your screen right now to get a $50 bonus when you play your first $5 lineup. And you don't even need to win to receive that bonus. It is guaranteed. PrizePicks, run your game. So after this stretch that the Mavs have been battling the injuries and whatnot, here is where they sit in the Western Conference. And they're currently sitting in ninth right now at 25-22. And the Clippers are up there at 6 at 26-20 with just one more win. So the Mavs are still right in this thing. We knew that they were going to take a dip into the standings, like I told you about a month ago when all of these injuries happened. Hopefully, they're going to get Luka back here in the next couple of weeks, and they can go on a little bit of a run here and get themselves back up in the standings. I'm not too concerned with the standings right now because, like I said, when they're healthy, they are a top 4 team in the West, and I really don't think there's any doubt about it. Oklahoma City is really good. Mavs beat them 3 times without Luka. Houston is a really good team sitting at second in the West right now. They're still young and inexperienced. I think Memphis is a solid team. We'll see if they go out and acquire Jimmy Butler. That could change things a little bit. But outside of those 3, I think the Mavs are right there. And my mind hasn't changed about that. If they're fully healthy, they are absolutely a true contender. And like I said earlier, it is a dire situation when it comes to the bigs right now. Derek Lively's got the fractured foot. Dwight Powell has the hip strain. Maxi Kleba, also a fractured foot. Daniel Gafford's healthy. He's your only healthy big man on the active roster. You just signed Kyler Kelly to a 2-way deal. He made his NBA debut on Monday night. He scored a point as well, so congratulations to Kyler. So looking at this, with Gafford as your only healthy, true big on the roster, it's not a matter of if, but a matter of when Nico Harrison moves in this market. The Mavericks absolutely have to make a move if they want to be a part of that true contending tier, so to speak, in the Western Conference like we spoke about earlier. Nico Harrison has made 14 trades since he has been named the GM of the Mavericks. He is not afraid to make a move. Like we showed you earlier, he's made a trade at every single deadline in his tenure at the Mavericks. I don't expect this to be any different. So stay on the lookout. And of course, if Nico Harrison does make a move, we will have you covered. So hit that subscribe button. It's youtube.com/Mavs TV. We'll also be live for tomorrow's game against the Pelicans. So stay tuned for that as well. We're covering all of the latest Mavericks news and rumors, doing live watch parties. We do it better than anybody here on YouTube. Hit that sub button. Here is what the schedule looks like before the All-Star break. You take on the Pelicans, and then you have a surging Pistons team, a really good Cleveland Cavaliers team, 76ers, the Celtics. Then you have your Western Conference foes in the Rockets and Kings and the Warriors, and then the Miami Heat before the All-Star break. So, look, when the Pistons are a really tough game, the Cavs are a really tough game. You have to beat the Pelicans and the Sixers in this stretch, and then hopefully you can get one of the Rockets and the Kings. Try to beat the Warriors as well. All in all, you have 9 games left. Go 5-4 heading into the All-Star break. You'll have Luka back, hopefully, for those final 3 or 4 games. If you go 5-4 heading into the All-Star break and you tread water, I think you're just fine. Out of that, hopefully you have some more reinforcements. Maybe you get the likes of a Dante Exum back in the fold. Hopefully some other guys start getting healthy. Hopefully Najee Marshall will heal from the illness that he's missed a bunch of time with. He's missed his 4th straight game. We'll see if he plays in tomorrow's game. Go 5-4. Come out of the All-Star break. Go win some ball games. Get yourself back into the top 6 in the West, and you feel all right. That's going to do it for today's show. It is youtube.com/Mavs TV. My name is Jeffrey Cooperstein. Again, we will be live tomorrow for Mavericks and Pelicans. So go ahead, hit that subscribe button, lock us in, turn on those noties, and join us tomorrow.